This week's Daily Dose Learning has been sponsored by the Levian family for Refuah Shlema of Yafa bat Miriam, Yehuda ben Yafa, and Rafael ben Michal. Xolei Israel. We are up to the fifth Mishnah of Masachet Berachot. This is the last Mishnah. We're going to finish the first chapter today. The last Mishnah, just to remind everyone from yesterday, we spoke about how many Berachot have to be before Shema Israel and after Shema Israel. Bashachar in the morning, there's two before and there's one after. In the evening, there's two before and two after. And we went through them yesterday. Here, the Mishnah is going to discuss a very interesting issue in Shema Israel. And with your permission, I'm going to read today. Maskirin Itziyat Mitzrayim Balelot. Do we have to read the third paragraph of Shema Israel in the evenings? Right? We know that Shema Israel has three paragraphs. There is Shema Israel, which is and V'ahavta. Then you have V'haya, and then you have Vayomer. Right? Now the third paragraph, Vayomer, the main topic, what does it talk about? The main topic of that paragraph is tzitzit, is the topic of tzitzit. Now the mitzvah of tzitzit is only during the day. There is no mitzvah of tzitzit in the evening. There are people who still wear tzitzit in the evening. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't hurt to wear tzitzit at night. But a person is not required. There's no requirement. And that's why, for example, whenever we do weddings, and our minhag, the Sephardic minhag at weddings, welcome. The Sephardic minhag at weddings is the chatan wears a new talit. You wear a new talit. Do you say a bracha, litatef, or not? You say she'achiyanu, because you're wearing a new talit. But do you say a bracha lehitatef b'tzitzit? No. The answer is, it depends. If it's still daytime outside, then he still says lehitatef, because you have a mitzvah during the day. But if it's in the summer, a lot of times the chuppah is still during the day. But if the chuppah is late at night and it goes into the night, he doesn't say the bracha lehitatef. Right? There's no mitzvah to do tzitzit at night. You can't say that God commanded me to put on tzitzit, and He didn't command me to put on tzitzit at this time. So now the main topic of the third paragraph of Shema is tzitzit. So the question is, do we have to say it, that paragraph, in the evenings, or only Shema Israel in the mornings? So the Mishnah says over here, Maskirin Itziyat Mitzrayim Be'elot. It says we still do the third paragraph in the evening, even though the main topic of it is tzitzit. What's the reason we do it in the evening? Because to remember Itziyat Mitzrayim, to remember at the very end of Shema, the important line, the very end of the last paragraph is Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim li'od lachem Elohim. I am Hashem your God, who took you out of Egypt in order to be your God. And that line, we have to remember Yetziat Mitzrayim every single day. So Maskirin Yetziat Mitzrayim, because of that line, we read, even in the evenings, we read Shema Israel. Amar, I'm in the fifth paragraph. Amar Rabbi, the last paragraph. Amar Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah said, who was Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah? Huh? He was the Naas. So there's a very famous story with him, very famous and important story with Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. He was in Nasi for a very short time. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, he was a young man. I'll read you his line and then I'll explain the story. He says, Hare ani keven shiv'im shana. I am like 70 years old. I am like 70 years old, he says. V'lo zachiti shete'amer Yetziat Mitzrayim b'leilot. I did not have the merit that Shema Yisrael should be said in the evenings. So there are some who explain, there are some who think that until his time, they did not say the third paragraph at nighttime. They only said the first two paragraphs. The Rambam though explains, the Rambam says no. He's not saying that they didn't say Shema Yisrael. Everybody said the three paragraphs all the time. He's only saying I couldn't find the pasuk for it. I wasn't able to find the pasuk for it. Does anybody remember this line from anywhere? Where do it's in the Haggadah Shel Pesach. We have it in the Haggadah. We bring this line on Haggadah every year. So Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, this was his story. What does he mean, I am like 70 years old? So there's a story, remember before we spoke about Rabban Gamliel, the Nasi, the president of the court. His name was Rabban Gamliel. Rabban Gamliel, he at his time, up until he became the Nasi, they still had the two camps of Shammai and Hillel. The Israel was divided mostly into two. You had the camp of Hillel, you had the camp of Shammai, you had machloket between them, they were following Hillel, they had Shammai. He wanted to unite everybody. He said, we cannot have any opposition. There has to be a unity, and he wanted to unite Israel, and he mainly wanted to follow Hillel, because he came from Hillel. And he was very strong, he was very mighty, with a mighty arm. He was the he was the Nasi of the Sanhedrin, Rabban Gamliel. And at his time they had Rabbi Yoshua. We spoke about all these people. Now Rabban Gamliel, he would not tolerate any opposition. When he came to a decision, everybody had to accept it. Everybody had to follow that way. Whatever the court said, everybody in the court had to follow it. He would not accept dissent. He wouldn't accept that. If someone would oppose him, he would punish them on the spot. And when did the straw break the camel's back, the donkey's back? They had a story. It's in Masechet Berachot, right over here, where Rabbi Yoshua was opposing him. They had a disagreement. They had a debate if Tefilat Arvit Reshut or Chova. Is the prayer of Arvit? Did you guys learn this in Berachot? You learned this in Berachot. This is in the fourth paragraph of Berachot. They had a machloket of Tefilat Arvit Reshut or Chova. Rabban Gamliel said Chova. Rabbi Yoshua said Reshut. And he said, opposing me? We decided Chova. And he goes and he punishes Rabbi Yoshua. Now, when he punishes Rabbi Yoshua, the people, all the people that were there, the entire court, and the entire, he said, enough of this. Rabban Gamliel, you can't tolerate any opposition. We can't do this anymore. They rebel and they decide to overthrow Rabban Gamliel because he has no because of his arguments with Rabbi Yoshua, and because he had no patience for Rabbi Yoshua, who was very well-respected leader. We spoke about Rabbi Yoshua also. Now, when they overthrew Rabban Gamliel, they started to say, well, who are we going to choose now? Who's going to be the new Nasi? Who's going to be the new... we need somebody who's strong, but at the same time, we need somebody who has yichus, someone that comes from a good lineage and someone who comes from a good family. They wanted somebody of means, somebody who also, that wasn't in poverty, that someone... they wanted basically someone who had all the good characteristics and all the leadership qualities to be able to make the decisions. And they went through a few different candidates. In the end, the only candidate that they could choose was Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Now, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, he was a descendant of Ezra Sofer. Came from a strong lineage, a strong yichus, a strong family. He came from a wealthy family, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, and he was a chacham. He was extremely wise. He was one of the smartest people in the Beit Midrash. He was one of the strongest young budding scholars. The thing is, how old was he at that time? He was 18 years old. He was only 18 years old. And they wanted to put him as the Nasi, as the president of Sanhedrin. He's a young kid. He's 18 years old. So, he learned very deep and he prayed to God. And it says what happened was his hairs, either from how strongly he was learning or from his tefillot, but his hairs started to turn white. He started to get white hairs, even though he was 18 years old. And here he comes and says, Hare ani ke ben 70 shana. He says, I am like 70 years old. He wasn't actually 70 years old, but he was like 70 years old because his hair started turning white. He started to look like he was an older man in order so that he would gain the respect of everybody and be able to be the Nasi. And one of the famous things that happened whenever he became the Nasi, and this was probably on that day, it's probably on the day he became the Nasi, he opened the doors of the Beit Midrash. Rabban Gamliel, he was with a tight fist, he was the Nasi. He would only let qualified candidates come study Torah. He wouldn't let everybody come to the Beit Midrash. He'd only say, I only admit someone who is tocho kevaro. Someone he has to pass the test of purity and pure desire and wanting to learn. And only once he's qualified, only once he passes that test, I'm letting him in the Beit Midrash. You wouldn't let anybody, you can't just come study anybody who wants to study. You have to show that you really want it. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah said, I'm opening all the doors. Anybody, the Torah is for anybody and for everybody. And everybody who wants should come and learn. He opened the door. He said that everybody came to learn on that day that Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah became the Nasi, and they resolved any question anybody had about anything. They resolved it that day, and they wrote a whole Masechet, a whole tractate of Mishnah on the day that he became the Nasi, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. All the questions they resolved, all the things people testified, the traditions they testified. They wrote a Masechet Eduyot. Very interesting, nice Masechet to read. Eduyot, it's not one topic. Most of the tractates, most of the volumes of the Mishnah is one topic and it goes through. Eduyot is not one topic. It's just everything that they said on that day, they recorded and they put together in one Masechet, Eduyot. So this was Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, and he says, I wasn't able to find the pasuk. That's the way Rambam reads it. Again, there are others that say that they didn't read Shema until, I think Rashi, if I'm not mistaken. Rashi and the Ran, they say that they would not read the third paragraph in the evenings up until this time. The Rambam says they did read the third paragraph, he just couldn't find a pasuk. Ad shederashach ben Zoma, until a guy by the name Ben Zoma, he found the pasuk. Right? Who was Ben Zoma? And here Ben Zoma. No Ben Zoma. Ben Zoma, his name was actually Shimon ben Zoma. They were two very, very close friends, and they lived at this time. Shimon ben Azai and Shimon ben Zoma. He has a drasha in Pirkei Avot. They speak in Pirkei Avot, and they never received semicha. They never got the title of rabbi, but they were chachamim. They were tremendous scholars, and that's why they're quoted in the Mishnah. And these two people, along with two others, Elisha ben Abuya and Rabbi Akiva, they lived at the same time. Both of them, there's a story with them in Chagiga, Masechet Chagiga. They went on this deep philosophical journey. They wanted to enter the Pardes. They went on this deep mental journey, philosophical journey in their mind. Whether to find a closeness to Hashem, we don't know. We don't know exactly what it means. To ikanes la Pardes. To enter, what does Pardes sound to you? Like paradise. Right? It's some.
Do we have it from them that our community today calls people who don't have semicha Rab?
I don't know. No, but here it doesn't call them Rabbi. Specifically, it doesn't call them Rabbi. They're quoted in the Mishnah. But you see, he's called Ben Zoma. Most of the rabbis in the Mishnah, they're called Rabbi this or Rabban that. Right? They have a title of Rab because they received semicha. He never received semicha, so he's not Rabbi. Right? Him and his friend. They had two friends, which they were very close. They always came to the Beit Midrash. They always went. And both of their names was Shimon, but that guy was Ben Azai, and this one was Ben Zoma. And they went on this deep journey, and a philosophical journey to come to an understanding of God, or to come to an understanding of paradise. And most of them, 3 out of 4, did not come okay. It says Ben Azai, Ben Zoma, and Elisha ben Abuya. Ben Zoma, he went in, it says Hatzitz v'nifka. Ben Zoma, when he went on this deep journey, we don't know what this means. So you can study Masechet Chagiga if you want to try to understand messages from it on a deeper level. But Ben Zoma, after he went on this journey, he went crazy. He went out of his mind. And Ben Azai, when he died after he went on this philosophical journey. Elisha ben Abuya, who was the third one, he became a kofer. He became anti-religion. He became everything against Judaism. Elisha ben Abuya. We have a few statements from each of these people. We have very, very few statements from earlier in their lives. And there was only one person, only one out of the 4, Rabbi Akiva, one of the 4 friends. Rabbi Akiva, nichnas b'shalom, v'yatza b'shalom. He went on this journey in peace, and he came out in peace. He came out okay. He came out still founded in his beliefs. Only 1 out of 4.
The moral of the story is don't go on philosophical journey.
It doesn't say don't go on philosophical journey. It says there's risks involved. There's risks involved. 3 out of 4 did not come out okay.
And the one that did come out okay ended up being killed by the Romans.
He ended up being killed by the Roman, but he was the pillar of Torah, was Rabbi Akiva. All of our Torah Shebe'al Peh, we spoke about in the first class a couple of weeks ago. Most of the Mishnah was written by his students. His students were the ones who organized the whole project, Rabbi Akiva. So that's why in the Gemara it says, Stam Mishnah, you understand, most of the Mishnayot, they're going according to the opinion of Rabbi Akiva, because it all came from his students.
But the philosophical journey is based on too much chachma.
Perhaps
If somebody wants to just go to the
But look, till today,
covers of the book,
how many philosophers do you know or do you hear of? They say, oh, philosopher said. Well, is he nuts?
philosophy
Is he
means,
crazy?
philosophy means dissecting whatever you read, and you let your imagination fly out of the covers of the book. That's philosophy.
Yes. Now,
But
for a
if
person,
you contain yourself within the
now for
covers of the book.
yes, but for a person to be able to go on that journey and come back and remain grounded on planet Earth,
You have to have
it's a major task. It's not a
support.
simple task. You have to have honor and you have to have zechut to be able to do that. So Rabbi Akiva had that zechut, Ben Zoma didn't. But before Ben Zoma went on this journey, he said, Shene'emar lema'anti, he found the pasuk. He found the pasuk for saying the third paragraph of Shema. Shene'emar lema'an tizkor et yom tzedecha me'eretz Mitzrayim kol yemei chayecha. That you should remember, the Torah says in Devarim, you should remember at Yom Tzedecha Me'eretz Mitzrayim, the day you left Egypt, Kol Yemei Chayecha. All the days of your life, you should remember and you should mention the day you left Egypt. He says the pasuk, it didn't have to say Kol Yemei Chayecha. It didn't have to say all of the days of your life. It could have said in Hebrew, it could have just as easily said Yemei Chayecha. It could have said all your life, all the days of your life. It says Yemei Chayecha Hayamim. When it says Yemei Chayecha, the days of your life, it means the days of your life. When it said Kol Yemei Chayecha, all the days, all comes to include even the nights. Even nights. Mornings and the evenings, it's an obligation to say Shema Israel, the whole thing, even the third paragraph. The Chachamim said, why wasn't this a natural derasha? Chachamim had a different opinion. Chachamim had a different way of learning this pasuk. They said, Yemei Chayecha ha'olam hazeh. Yemei Chayecha, when we have to read Shema Yisrael, we have to remember Egypt. Kol Yemei Chayecha, that's olam hazeh, that's today. In this world. Kol Yemei Chayecha, what is all the days of your life at? It says, Lehavi limot HaMashiach. Even in the days of Mashiach, we have to remember Egypt. Even when Mashiach comes, we still say Shema, we still have to remember Egypt. That's what Chachamim say. We still have to continue there, and we still have to remember Egypt, even though the redemption from Galut that we've been in 2,000 years to go to the days of Mashiach, it's equivalent or even greater than going out of Egypt. To go back to Egypt, to go back to Israel, and to have Mashiach reinstate the Beit HaMikdash. Look, we've had Israel even now for 70 years. We still don't have Mashiach, we still don't have unity, we still don't have Beit HaMikdash, we still don't have... It's going to be such a great event, yet still at that time, we have to remember Yetziat Mitzrayim, we have to remember Egypt. Right, so that's the final message of the first paragraph. Yisrael Hashem, on Monday, tomorrow we have Parashah, on Monday we are going to continue with chapter 2, Perek Bet. Hadran Alach Perek Aleph.